Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? This is a Ted and Ed TV channel. Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, how you doing, Ted? You got some things to do?
I'm doing good, man. Everything is good, man. Just got back from ATL a few days ago. Had a wonderful time and enjoyed that. Enjoyed my brother, and just enjoyed ATL, man. We was up in Buckhead, and that's where we stayed. And man, that was a nice little area. It was nice and comfortable, man. Nice little area, man. I love that place, and the weather was beautiful.
Yeah, man, you around them rich folks, man. You around all them folks get all the money there in Atlanta. Hey, Buckhead.
yeah, I saw that, man. I said, wow, this is really nice. But I was just when we were riding around and what have you, you sort of kind of look at the different areas and what have you. And I mean, that place is like LA, man. That place is like LA when it comes to traffic. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is, man. It is that. It is that. It's all the time. Excuse me. Yeah, I take it and make a concerted effort and stuff not to be out early in the morning traffic, and then after 2:30, if I'm not where I'm at, then I stay at home because that traffic is horrible. They have some areas, man. They got 8 lanes going one way, and they're all full, and everybody is backed up. But they are putting in those express lanes and stuff now. They finished up the southern end of Atlanta's got an express lane, and northern end now just finished up their express lane. So maybe that they eliminate some traffic or whatever, but it's going to cost you. They call it the peach card, a peach something, and everything. You got to have a peach pass. I'm sorry, peach pass.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a peach pass to get on it because there's no cost you money to ride it. So those rich folks who brought us all that money and profits and stuff back into the country and everything, they taking their money and stuff and everything and spending it and trying to make more money on top of that. So they built that highway and took them 2 years to do it, but they got it done. They opened it up. The first day they're going to open is this Saturday. They're going to start letting traffic go on there.
I noticed that thing. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, they didn't build it where they'll be up in the air. It's just right on the ground, right?
No, it's up in the air too. In certain areas, in certain areas where they couldn't put it on the ground, they got it up in the air. This goes up and then down and up and down, and then some places go way up and everything. So it's
here in Tampa area, they got the same thing, and they got this thing. You have to do the pass and all that stuff. So
they got this too, and to make a few dollars and stuff and everything. So it doesn't belong to the state. It's a private entity.
Of course,
built those highways.
Everything is private now, bro. That's what they do. It don't belong to the state, and they made it private, and the private people gonna jack your prices up.
Absolutely.
When you want to get on it. One day it's $1.25. The next thing you know, it's $1.50, and then 2 years later it's $1.75.
Right, and then they figure out ways and stuff. Your account and stuff gets below a certain amount of money, and you still get on there. They're going to charge you a few more extra dollars or whatever. They got all kind of ways, man, of making some money off of you now. So we're going to get ready. But my wife and stuff, she's already getting ready to get her a peach pass because she says she might have a chance to get on those things and maybe get around Atlanta a little bit faster and stuff, using that since it's a brand new highway. And depending on the day, it's a reversible lane thing. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. You know, I mean, everybody, all the cities are trying to upgrade their freeways, but I just don't like the fact that, you know, they got to charge for everything that you do now. You know, and they won't even do
Well,
mass transportation.
well, Ted, you know, those Republicans, you know, they got to cut taxes, man. You know, we're gonna cut taxes. we're gonna reduce your tax bill,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then turn around and hit you with them usury fees.
That's right. That's absolutely right. That's right. Everything is usury fees, some kind of way they're gonna get you.
Hey man, that we gotta talk about that elephant in the room, man.
Ooh,
I
here we
just
go.
I just you know my TV screen here and everything that I got with my computer's hooked into, I get messages that pop across. And about 5 minutes ago, something popped across my screen and it says that Trump says he feels lonesome now, and he
45,
he
45.
said
The White House
45
is
say he feels
chaos.
all alone now in the White House. He doesn't know what to do because these people are hurting him.
He got his own people bad against him. He got chaos going everywhere, man. He got chaos in the country. He got chaos in the actually, you know, no friends, foreign friends. You know, he done made enemies out of his friends and friends out of his enemies. My enemy is my friend.
Friend, yeah, he has created himself a mess there in the White House, Ted, a pure mess. And it seems like things are getting worse for him, and he's created that what you might call it, they turned the White House into a kindergarten center. It's full of kindergartners.
Well, they said that you know the according to the op-ed, you know, opinion page, you know, the mysterious writer of the article said that there
a
are
senior now. He's a
yeah,
senior White House administrator.
right, and
So
he said that don't worry, America, there are adults in the room.
room.
The president ain't running the country. We
He's
running.
not running the country. We are. We keeping everything in check until he can be replaced. Oh man,
I'm telling you, man, with
his
this
own folks sitting there looking
Bob
him in
Woodard?
the face.
What's this guy's name? Bob? Is it Bob Woodard?
Woodward.
Yeah, he brought out that book.
Woodward and Bernstein.
Oh
Yeah. You know, those two
Watergate.
Watergate Titans. Yeah.
And this guy, man, I haven't picked up the book. It ain't even out yet, but they keep on reading not reading, but talking about it. And it must be some heavy stuff up in there, man.
Devastating stuff, man. They got some devastating. And what makes it so strong and everything and powerful is that he's supposed to have tapes, man. So once they found out he had tapes, man, it got quiet in that White House.
They was calling
he was like a rat peeing on cotton.
Everything's a lie. Everything's a lie. All of a sudden, they stopped saying that. Didn't they?
He got tapes. He said, "Oh."
Hey, I guess he took it. You know, him and Omarosa must have got together.
They must have. They're reading out of the same playbook.
You got to have proof.
You got to have some tapes because Trump's going to deny it, and all the other people around him. So you know, I'm pretty sure, man. I would pay money to be a fly on the wall there in the White House right now, man. It's got to be. Everybody walking around the place looking at each other. Did you do it? Did you do it? And Trump sitting around there glaring at all of them. I think you the traitor.
Well, in the news, they said that each one of those the people that in there, they had to go into his office and have a note and say, "I didn't write it." And bring in a note.
This is something else, man. And then you got these news media people out there. They trying to figure out. They got a list of people that they think who might have turned him in and did that. You know, he got John Kelly on there. He got Dan Coates. They even got Sessions on there. So Jeffy boy might have did this too. He might have turned him in.
I mean, you have to laugh at it, but it's really kind of sickening, man.
Sickening, man. This is a leader of the free world here.
He didn't really turn this into like a Apprentice. You know, it's like it is.
Yeah, it's a TV show, but it's even worse than that, man. It done got really bad. You know, you're supposed to have some adults running around there saying something. You know, you're supposed to be in charge of businesses and stuff that makes money and huge conglomerates out there. And he done turned this thing, man, into the romper room.
But, and think about it, man. You look at all the issues that's out here now that need to be tackled. And they're sitting up here, and the news media as well, gossiping about the chaos in the White House. And that the president, they're talking about doing, I guess it's Amendment 25, because they think that he has lost his mind or he has some kind of dementia or something. And they really are putting that out right now, that the man is not mentally stable. So, I mean, I don't think that's gonna pass muster, because let's face it, man, this guy, and he said it, and I kind of agree. At least it appears that way. I don't know if he's sleeping during the day or not, Ed, but he's up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and he out late at night. He ain't getting no sleep. I'm talking about 7 days a week.
Did they have a word for that in a nursing home, Ted, when people have dementia or they have Alzheimer's and stuff? They call it twilight time. That means that as soon as it get dark or whatever and everybody starts going to sleep, those people with dementia, they be up roaming around, going into folks' drawers and then they personal items and stuff or whatever. That's what they call it, the twilight zone.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and this happens to people who are in dementias. You know, they're not full blown, but they have dementia and everything, or they get into that Alzheimer's era, you know, that phase and stuff. So he's up now roaming around and stuff, just like he got dementia. But
wow, that's crazy.
But hey, we knew, Ted, after he was elected and stuff and everything, that this man, something was wrong with him. And I guess, and I guess now it is starting to reach epic proportions now. People all over, even some of his staunchest supporters and stuff and everything are sitting around and looking at him, you know, out of the side of their eyes. And man, and a lot of times, man, you go into these conventions that he is doing and these rallies he's doing, and he just sits up there, man. If you actually look at him and stuff, there's something wrong. He got his hands all up, and saying crazy stuff, and people are sitting there clapping, yeah. But
now, what is he saying? He's not saying anything to benefit them. All he's doing is bragging on himself, talking about, you know, manufacturing is up and employment is down.
And he done gave everybody a tax cut. Mm-hmm. And what? You gave the top 1% a tax cut, but where's mine? I don't see it. He telling everybody, I'd make sure y'all have $4,000 in your pocket. What? He sprinkled a little fairy dust on him and thinking it's okay. But he's always said, though, if he can't tell the truth, he's gonna lie. He got a lie coming up.
So, he lying.
But I'm like, the person who wrote the op-ed or the people who wrote the op-ed, because I think, Ted, it was more than one person and stuff who put that op-ed letter together for the New York Times. I believe there was at least 4 or 5 people who put it together, and they just put it out there that one person did it. But I believe it was a lot of folks and stuff who got together and said, go ahead and put this stuff out here and let the American people and stuff know that their country is still safe and stuff, because we're gonna make sure that Trump doesn't destroy this world and stuff and everything while he's still sitting there in office. But to have it to come out right now, it is a devastating time for it to come out. You got your 2018 midterms and stuff getting ready to come out, and it's only like 65 days away now. They're gonna have an election, a midterm election, and everything, and then all this stuff is coming out, and everything else is going on. Man, it is just, I don't know. It couldn't have been any worse time for it to come out like this. But
this kind of stuff is just goes to show you, when you're looking at all kinds of people that are in office that are getting indicted, getting arrested, people are all kinds of things that's happening. He's the chaos in the White House. That's why his favorabilities is 36%. The man's favorabilities is 36%.
Well, Ted, I would have thought it had been a little bit lower than that, because he's been ranging around that 36% for a long time. So it looks like those same people who helped to get him in office, who is his devout supporters, they're still supporting him no matter what. So,
they still support him. And the thing is that they will, those loyal supporters are not really keeping up of what's really going on, man, because they can't be. He did the tax thing, okay? When he did the tax thing, that was pretty much, good for the multi-billionaires and rich people, corporations, and all of that. And so they filtered a few dollars down to some of the workers, and they spurred up the economy for a little bit. And they opened up some jobs, because because there was some money there. However, you still have to sell those goods and services. This man is monkeying with what?
The tariffs.
There you go.
He got the tariffs out there he's fighting. He's got this, he's done pulled himself out of the Paris Accord. He's messing with the Iranian nuclear agreement and stuff they had. He's talking about Syria and what's going on over there. He went over there. He went over there in May and everything, or May or June and stuff, and made Kim Jong-un his buddy, and Kim Jong then gave him the bird and stuff and everything ever since then. So yeah, Trump, here's the bird here. We're not going to do nothing.
That's right.
Everybody's sitting out there that he's messing with China, and China is
messing with Canada and Mexico.
Canada, well, I think he's got Mexico kind of back into his corner and everything, but Canada and stuff saying, hey, we're not going to just give away our stuff and everything. You're going to have a good agreement for it before this NAFTA gets going or whatever. So it's it's just so much stuff going on, and then he's still beating up on Jeff Sessions and stuff. Every time he gets a whim and everything, he go over there and slap old Beauregard Jefferson Sessions upside his head. Bap! You shouldn't have did this. And even when you got these congressmen committing a crime, it's Jefferson's fault. Hey, Jefferson Beauregard Sessions, you shouldn't have indicted these people and stuff because they're good Republicans. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
It's just crazy, man. It's like, that's why in my mind, and I'm just saying that he don't deserve to even put up a nominee for the Supreme Court, and that's been the hullabaloo.
Kavanaugh's there, man. Them Republicans, they are dead set. McConnell is dead set on trying to get this man through this confirmation hearing, come hell or high water. He wants to get him through. But I don't know. The Democrats are putting up a pretty good fight, man, here in these first few days or so and everything. And I believe they still got some more bombshells and stuff to put out there and stuff on them and everything. And they're waiting and stuff and not putting everything out there all at once and stuff. They got some stuff on them and everything that they got. And I still don't believe that they're going to get him, but they may now. But I don't know, Ted. I don't know if they're going to be able to get him through that thing or not, because all the stuff going on, and people understand that this man is unqualified to be. He's unqualified to even be a federal judge.
Yep.
So that's happening and stuff there. So what else is going on? I had some things, Ted. We got some of our folks who have doing things and stuff right now that has never been done before. We have a Black woman who has a chance to be the governor of Georgia.
Ooh, now that's a big deal there.
Man, I never thought that this was ever happened. When Obama got elected for president, I said, oh man, this is too much. We got a Black man in the White House, but to get a Black woman in the governor's mansion here in big Georgia, whoo, I don't know. Girlfriend got a good chance. Now, I ain't saying she's going to win it, but she got a good chance. She's already won that nomination, and she does have white folks and stuff who are around her. So if she can get that 10 or 15% of those white votes and stuff and get some of her folks and stuff out there to vote and everything, she might have a real good chance of beating this old boy here. But they putting out ads and stuff now and everything, and they trying to clean him up and make him look good. Whereas before in the primary, man, he was just going crazy. He was riding around and doing campaign ads. He got his truck and he had his Confederate flag on the back of it. He riding around and telling people, I'm going to pick up these immigrants and run them out of our state. He had some crazy ass going on, man. I mean, they were really crazy. And he won that runoff and stuff and everything in June to become the nominee and stuff for the Republicans. And now they cleaned him up, man. These ads they got out now with him and everything are showing that he's a good guy. He's all calm and everything. They got suits and ties on him and everything because he used to be the Secretary of State. So they want him to look like he's governor material now. But girlfriend, she's pretty tough out there. And then, Ted, you got your boy down there in Florida.
Yeah. I'm excited, man, because he is a guy that he has a vision for the state. He has a vision for the people, and the one thing that I like about him is that he sticks to his guns. He don't let nobody sidetrack him. I don't know if you saw Sunday's, I think it was Sunday or Monday's interview. He was interviewed by Dana Bass. She's a CNN reporter. Yeah. She usually hosts one of the shows there. And every time she asked him a question, he started answering and she interrupts. Every time. And he just played her off and he just went on with his thing. And I kept on saying to myself, why don't you let this man answer the question? You keep interrupting him and asking him another question. And she was trying to throw him off his game. And it was so obvious. It's all over Facebook right now. It's all over Twitter. It's been all over there, and they talked about her like really, I mean, they really got on her case about it. Mm-hmm. And because the fact is she wasn't being fair. She doesn't do these other politicians like that. She let them talk. I'm talking about the man said a couple of sentences, she cut him off. So, but, he just went on because he was happy being on the national scene.
Well, he is, because being the governor of Florida, Ted, is a big, big, big deal. And the reason why it is so big is because it is a battleground state.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
only won by 1%.
Yeah. And in 2020, Florida is going to be a big prize for anyone and stuff who wants to win that presidential nomination.
Yep.
And if the Democrats can capture that state house there in Florida, and then have a black man there in the state house and stuff for them, it's going to bode very, very well for any Democratic candidate and stuff and everything who's running to have him there. Whereas in Georgia, Stacey Abrams and stuff, she's not that big of a deal and stuff. If they got electoral college votes and stuff there, but it is nowhere near the amount of votes and stuff that can come out of Florida and the amount of power and stuff that it would give any.
Yeah, you're talking the third largest,
Mhm.
the third largest in the country.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
what about 20-something million people
yeah,
down
they're
there?
pretty close to 20 million people, and it's growing every day because of the weather. A lot of people love the weather here. A lot of people come back and forth. You got what they call snowbirds, from Canada, New York, different places from the cold weather. But, and then we're one of the biggest tourist states in the country.
Mhm.
And that's where Florida makes most of its money now. It used to be on citrus.
Yeah. And another thing that you didn't mention about Abram and stuff, Gillum and stuff, is that he is started to excite the electorates. You got, when you see the Democrats coming in there, they trying to placate to the conservatives, and they want to stay up there almost on the right or grab their center. He's going to that left, and he's exciting voters and stuff out there by stating the facts.
Yeah. Nelson, him and Nelson
stop
teamed up together. Him and Nelson.
Placating. Stop
Guess
placating that center.
Who won the Secretary of State? Shaw.
Mhm.
Sean Shaw.
Oh, Sean Shaw did? You
Yeah.
kidding me? He got the nomination for Secretary of State?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
See, ain't nobody
Shaw.
saying a whole lot about that.
No, they not, man. His daddy was the
Big time judge.
No, he was the insurance commissioner there when he was still alive. He
I thought he was a judge too. No,
he may have been, but I know he had his claim to fame when Sean Shaw was running in that House seat and stuff at the 61st district there in the House there around Tampa. He was claiming fame and stuff with his dad was the insurance commissioner. He had just left office and stuff there. So I don't know. That's surprising, Ted. It is really surprising that he got the nomination for the Secretary of State there. It is really surprising, man. So he's got a ticket. So he's got a ticket there behind him now. Andrew does. Well, yeah. maybe Sean Shaw can get on to Andrew Gillum's coattail and stuff, and he might be that Secretary of State that you guys are going to need and everything to make sure that, because the Secretary of State, is a very powerful job because they take care of the voters.
Let me correct that. I apologize. Let me double check that, because it's either Secretary of State or he's going to be the state's attorney.
Oh, okay. Because he is an attorney now.
Yeah. And I apologize for that, because I was reading the article, because he's on Link, and I think is that's the position, not Secretary of State, but it's state's attorney. But I'm gonna double check that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just getting ready to get excited and stuff that a lot of those voters and stuff out there who have been kicked off the voting roll.
According to Wikipedia, John.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
They the Secretary of State is the one that really controls those voting rolls and make sure the people out there can get on the voting rolls and stuff there.
LMHC.
So, but anyway, what I wanted to talk about is Amazon. And
was it you wanted to talk about it, or were you trying to tell me about get me to say something about Jeff Bezos and his
I want you to
all
say something about it, but then your boy Bernie Sanders, you're a big fan of Bernie Sanders. There's a conflict going on. Have you been reading about it?
well, Bernie has some novel ideas and stuff, Ted, just like you have sometimes about things that are going on, or how these corporations and stuff can serve some of the people that they are underserving and stuff right now. And he has an idea and stuff there that's really should have been brought up a little bit sooner and stuff, because Walmart is also a bad a bad character and stuff in the same mold as Amazon and stuff is, as far as his as far as the employees and stuff getting services and stuff from the federal and state government, as far as food stamps, Section 8 and stuff like that. So he's got an idea that, hey, if these people have to get on Section 8, or if they have to get food stamps and stuff because they're not paying them enough money, then Amazon should be able to foot that bill, which is it's a sort of a socialist idea, but it's a novel idea. And I don't see why Bezos and his group and everything shouldn't adopt that and everything, because hey, if your employees and stuff are getting government funding and stuff because you are not paying them enough money, then maybe you need to do something and stuff to help your employees. And I don't know if the idea that Bernie Sanders had put it out, that people just going to throw it by the wayside and say he's crazy, or that's not going to work, or whatever. Sometimes when people bring up ideas and stuff, Ted, you have to think about them ideas for a little bit, and not just throw them off and say that, oh, no, that ain't gonna work. We can't do that. We can't do that. Think about it. You might be able to do something about it. If nothing else, you might be able to do like we talked about and stuff, a couple of weeks ago, about these corporations and stuff and everything getting vouchers and stuff and everything for these apartment complexes and stuff where people can stay at, and they foot part of that bill and stuff and everything for the employees to stay in these apartment complexes, or build their own apartment complexes and everything, and let their folks stay in who work for them. Stuff like that, man. That's those ideas and stuff can work. I know that the senator and stuff from Massachusetts and stuff, man, I keep forgetting her name, but she has some really novel ideas and stuff that she's put forth and everything. Elizabeth Warren, yeah. She's put out some very novel ideas and stuff about financing and some of the things that these financial institutions can do to help kids and stuff who have student debt, and people and stuff who are out there who can't afford to pay for a lot of things, reducing their debt and everything and stuff, and giving them loans and stuff and everything that are affordable, instead of ripping them off and stuff, and charging them 50-60%, on the monies that they borrow, and that they can still make money and stuff by using her ideas and stuff, her financial ideas, to put financial instruments and stuff out there for people and stuff who are trying to get loans or whatever, or maybe take these loans and stuff that they have and bundle them up into one big loan and stuff there and everything, which allows them to be able to pay these loans and stuff back without creating a problem where they can't pay it back.
Right now they're privatizing everything. They privatize these loans, and then they can raise the rates up, and you mentioned something that, different kinds of fees on there, late fees and all that kind of craziness.
And they're sitting around there with 3 or 4 of those debts and stuff, a $2,000 loan here, or a $2,000 loan there, a $1,500 loan there, and you combine those things and stuff and make one payment and stuff out of those loans. It's a lot more feasible and everything for the individual who has the loans and stuff to pay them back. So it's I don't know. It's we have to think about a lot of those things and stuff out there, Ted, because we have created an environment and stuff where that gap between the rich and the poor, it has gotten way out of whack, and it's not feasible. It's not sustainable and stuff for this country. And the people and stuff who have all the money and everything should realize that if the people and stuff that you are trying to serve and you're trying to sell products and everything and stuff too can't buy these products, then I guess they're probably trying to sell these things overseas, but the people overseas can't buy them either. You find people in China who have that 1 or 2% and stuff who have a lot of money, but you have a lot of people out there who are working in these factories and stuff, producing these phones, and they are treated like slaves or whatever. They can't buy an iPhone or some of these products and stuff that they're trying to sell and stuff over there. So we have to realize and stuff there that you have people who are making money, and then you have the consumer. The consumer makes you money. And if you don't have a consumer who can buy your product, you don't make any money.
That's absolutely right. And when you're talking about a guy right now is worth over $167 billion, that's Jeff Bezos. So the thing is, I mean, he's not hurting for nothing. And then you got probably his underlings are making millions. You know, the officers, yeah, probably billions, yeah. And so, I understand that they're having some work problems. They hire over 400,000 people, almost 500,000 people. And they say the work conditions in a lot of those big box warehouses, and, you know, a lot of things are electronic, and, you know, they have to, you know, use a lot of different equipment. A lot of people are getting hurt. In fact, they have had several deaths in some of these places because, you know, the speed is essence, you know, is one of the main reasons why people like them. You know, I can order something this morning and get it this afternoon.
Or tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah. So, and the pay is not that great, you know. And it's a good job for, you know, college students, you know, and what have you. You know, you can work and work at night or whatever, and you can go to school during the day. However, that's what it is now. You know, it's almost like when we were coming up, you know, we can get a factory job. All we had to do is just fill out the application. You start tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and, you know, I don't know if it's that easy for them now, you know, because a lot of them have to know all kinds of different training and be certified for this and certified for that. You know, nowadays, you know, even to drive a forklift now, you got to get certified. You know, you can't drive a forklift and those little, you know, you remember those little walking, what do you call those? I forgot what you call those little drivers that you put up and you push them and they automatically go by themselves.
Oh, they're pallet trucks.
Pallet trucks, yeah. And those pallet trucks, you got to get certified for that now. I was talking to a guy at the hotel. He was a security guy. And
at the hotel in Buckhead?
In Buckhead.
Oh, man.
And he was telling me, you know, and I asked him, well, man, how's it going? You know, you living here in the ATL, you know, and
you don't live in Buckhead, I can guarantee you that.
you know, but you know, we had a good conversation. You know, I was sort of kind of asking him certain questions. You know, what you're doing, what your plans are, and all that. Your marriage, you got. You know, I'm sort of kind of not nosy, but I'm just trying to pick his brain. And so he was telling me that he was getting all these certificates, bro. He said, I got to get the certification for this. I got to get my certification for my security so I can make more money. Because right now they're just paying me minimum wage. So once I get certified for this, for my security, and then I can move up. And then he said, and then after that, he said, I'm getting my certification for forklift and all this kind of stuff. And I want to have that available. So whenever I need a job, I have something available so I can keep getting me a job. And I say, okay, oh, that's wonderful, bro. But what you gonna do? You know, I mean, you know, they can fire you at any time.
But if you get the certification for a forklift, you know, there's a lot of places and stuff that will need forklift drivers.
Right, and that's true. But I'm saying what I was asking him is what are you going to do as far as, you know, making money? He said, well, I'm looking at stocks and I'm trying to learn about that. I said, well, you know, you ain't got to go to school for that, bro. All you got to do is get on YouTube get you a couple of good books and just start investing and do dollar cost averaging, and just, and as I explained to him what dollar cost averaging is and all of that. And I say, don't do like me. I'm an old man. When I was your age, I knew about all these stocks and everything, but at that time I didn't trust none of them. But if I would have put just $50 a month into the stock market right now, I'd be a multi-millionaire. All these good stocks that went up. I was telling him, like I do it for a hobby, a lot of it, just study stocks and look at stocks and what have you. And I was just telling him 20 years ago, did you realize what McDonald's and Microsoft and all of them, they were like in their upper 20s, lower 30s. Now they're over 130 and 100. So the point is that you look at good companies and good corporations, and then you invest your money into those and the ones that you use, And so, we just talked about a lot of things, but, and he was only 26 years old, So anyway.
Well, he's got a lot of people out there that he can look at, 50 Cent, that rapper and stuff and everything. He's got, he does penny stocks. Everything. He's made a lot of money in penny stocks. After he went bankrupt there, he turned around and put all his money into those penny stocks and stuff and everything. And he made several $1 million and stuff in those penny stocks. Matter of fact, a lot of people were following him because he had a knack and stuff for picking the right penny stocks and stuff and everything. And they anytime he said something and everything, he was almost like the old boy over there in Nebraska and stuff and everything. When he said something, everybody started listening. Warren Buffett. And when 50 Cent started saying something about those penny stocks, people started looking to him and everything because he was making a lot of money and stuff doing that. So he has a mentor and stuff out there with him. This rapper sitting out there and making huge sums of money and stuff in penny stocks. And he's taking his money and stuff and spread it out. Man, I was very impressed and stuff with 50 Cent and stuff and everything, and how he has taken himself and everything from bankruptcy and everything now to be worth, hundreds of millions of dollars and stuff right now because of what he has done and how he's invested his money and how he's putting these media things out there. He's done about 15 or 20 movies and stuff now. He's got a successful weekly sitcom and stuff out there called Power and stuff that's making money hand over fist. He took a entity and stuff called Stars and stuff and everything and just making them money hand over fist and stuff now. So he writes his own ticket and stuff now as far as putting things out there into production. So he's doing fairly well and stuff to be starting out as a rapper. So there's something that a lot of those guys can look forward to and everything and say, hey, he's making money. Ludacris and stuff, he makes a lot of money and stuff. He's quietly invested, into some very successful businesses and stuff now. He doesn't say anything about it, but he's quietly and stuff doing that. And he's worth a couple of $100 million and stuff right now, him and his wife. So it can be done, Ted. It's just you got to be wise and stuff, and sit forth and everything and do it.
Yeah. Correction on Sean Shaw, Attorney General.
Attorney General? Okay.
Yeah. So
that sounds pretty good because he is an attorney and stuff. So okay.
Yeah. One of the things that you got something else? I got something else too.
Oh man, I got something.
Let's go with.
My cup runs over.
Let's talk about Nike, Colin Kaepernick, and I don't know if you saw the commercial yet.
No, I haven't, but I've heard about it.
I'm telling you, man, that commercial brought tears to my eyes, man. And he was talking, and it just brought tears to my eyes, that commercial. And Nike, although they got their own problems, they're using, cheap labor and all that, just like a lot of these international, national American companies. However, they do stick by the people that they sign. I got to give them that. You know, they stuck by Kobe, they stuck by Tiger, they stuck by Michael, they stuck by Colin Kaepernick, and right now they're gambling that they're making the right move because of his cause. And there's a lot of people that don't like the fact that they put him as the face of Nike. And a lot of people don't want to deal with it because his whole thing was, you know, these police officers are mistreating, you know, injustice, what have you. So the man has made a big sacrifice as far as his career because, you know, he could have been a starter at some, you know, maybe lower city, you know, could have went to Cleveland, could have went to, you know, somewhere where, you know, they're only going to win 5, 6, 7 games and been a starter. Or he could be at a bigger venue and be a backup and made a lot of money and just shut his mouth and just went through. But he decided that he had something that he had to say, and he did it. And he's been a good representative for that. You know, Black lives do matter. So I'm proud of him. You know, I have to say that, man. In our lifetime, man, we have a full-blown standout. You know, I wouldn't compare him to Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or all the greats like that, but he's standing for something, and he's using his celebrity to do it.
Well, Ted, he's had some bad things and stuff happen to him, but he's also had some good things and stuff happen to him. Right now, his lawsuit and stuff against the National Football League is going to trial. The judge and stuff just passed down a ruling and stuff and everything because they were trying to throw the case out and everything from the court and everything, and the judge rules against the National Football League. So he has a court date that's coming up, I guess, the end of this year or beginning of next year. They're going to have an actual trial. So they're thinking that the National Football League and stuff might make a settlement and everything and stuff with him because they really don't want to go to trial, because if they get to that point and everything, he can go out and subpoena these people and bring all these owners and stuff in there into the carpet and everything and have them to come in and do
see if it was collusion or not.
Right. He wants to bring them in, and
they're going to have to bring all their emails and everything in there.
Interview them in there, and they don't want that stuff to happen and stuff and everything.
Well, he might get $100 million contract. He might get $100 million.
Not a contract. They might pay. They might buy him off. You ask him how much money he might want to drop that suit and stuff against him, because they didn't figure that it would go that far. They figured that they would get it thrown out. But the arbitrator and stuff and everything ruled for him, and then the federal judge in that district and stuff where he filed that case out there in California and stuff ruled for him also. So the National Football League filed a summary judgment and stuff there and everything, against him, and the court and stuff ruled against them. So it looks like he might have a good chance of stuff winning. And then you see that Nike thing that happened and stuff and everything. Yes, there was some controversy going, but you know what happens there when people start doing some things and stuff. That's because you got a video and stuff on YouTube. Somebody sits there and they burning their shoes up and everything because they don't like Nike or whatever. Well, I'm pretty sure that Nike and that company and the people and stuff who are out there and their voice and the people who are running around there helping them to make decisions and stuff realize that, well, if they're burning our shoes, at least they're buying them. Well, they had to buy them to burn them. So we making some sales. So even though they burn shoes up, they making a sale. So you can look at it. I'm kind of making a little funniness out of it and everything, but it is true. They're making a sale. So, and you're right. I was very surprised that Nike stood by him, knowing that some of these nut houses out there were going to bring something forth and everything to talk about Nike and stuff and everything. And eventually that stuff's going to quiet down and they're going to go ahead on and keep on buying these Nike shoes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to keep on buying because there's a whole lot of folks out there, Ted, who are buying Nike shoes.
I didn't see no Jordans being burnt up.
No. So, they buying shoes. So they still going to do it. And Nike is not a U.S. company. It's I think it's a European company and stuff that they are. So they aren't right here in this country and everything. So Trump can do his little dirty work and everything and tell people, charge them all kinds of money and stuff and everything, or tax them for all.
Oh, Nike started at Oregon.
Yeah, but they done moved their company to over to Europe now. They're based and stuff out of Europe and everything now. Their main base is. And they did that.
They moved from Oregon. That's where they started.
Right, I know, but they have moved themselves out into international stuff, and so right now Trump can't bother them because their home base and stuff is not here in the United States anymore.
I didn't know that. That.
Oh yeah, man, you getting sleepy on me, Ted? Don't do that, man. Don't get sleepy on me right now. We only got a few minutes left, man. I know
when you get up.
I know you wake up. Man. I know you wake up early in the morning and you haven't had your cat nap today.
but no, Nike, man, is a company that's been very controversial. However, there's another stock that was started off small and now is up in the money, and we got these iconic companies, man, that's in our era, and 30 years ago, that if, hindsight is always 2020, but man, you look at Microsoft, Nike, Home Depot, all of these different companies that have come up, man, and just blew up. And now,
but you can also look at some of these other stocks and stuff that we haven't talked about that are falling out of the wayside and stuff. You look at Sears and stuff. You and I talked about that.
JCPenney,
Toys R Us, man. All those companies and stuff back when we were growing up.
Target. Is Target gone or is that?
No, Target's still going. But Kmart, Toys R Us is lost out. Kmart's being thrown about. Sears, all of them, man, they leaving us and everything. You've got a lot of those other companies and stuff out there. The Banana Republic. What's that other one? Old Navy and stuff. All those companies and stuff now, man, they going quickly by the wayside and stuff and everything. And Amazon has eaten that space up.
Yeah. And Amazon is doing it, and they are the next target as far as just like iPhone. They're gonna get it, man. People coming after them, bro. They're coming after Amazon. I'm telling you.
Amazon's worth too much money now, Ted. They don't let them get too big. They have a product that people are into. I just went on Amazon, man, and bought two things and stuff. My sister needed a computer. I went on Amazon and bought it. They delivered it today. I ordered it for yesterday. They delivered it today. I went on Amazon today and everything and ordered some stuff. My wife goes on there and she orders stuff and be delivering the stuff here because it's easy for us to do it instead of going out and driving in this Atlanta traffic and try to hunt stuff down in these daggone stores. It's a heck of a lot easier, and a lot of times the price is very reasonable. So that is an advantage that Amazon has, man, that nobody out there has, Ted.
Yeah.
My daughter and stuff works for the postal service and stuff and everything. And 2 years ago, man, Amazon hired them to deliver their product because they go to everybody's house every day, 6 days a week. They're at people's houses. Amazon hired them and they used them to deliver their products. My daughter told me the other day when I was talking to her and everything, she said, Daddy, we're delivering groceries now to these people's houses, dog food to these people's houses. Some of the older folks who can't get out. Yeah, the post office. And some of the older people who can't get out, they get their adult diapers and stuff to them. They're getting their medicine and everything to them online, all that. So they have a monopoly, Ted, on online buying and stuff right now. And Walmart is trying to get into that market and stuff now, but they're getting into it late. I don't know if you noticed that they got these ads and stuff out here where Walmart is you can come in, you can order your stuff and everything and drive by and pick it up and they have it ready for you. And they're even trying to get a delivery service out there to buy your stuff from Walmart, but they have too many stores and stuff out there, that people have to come to. So they can't keep up with Amazon. They can't. They don't have those logistics to do it right now. They don't have the cloud service and stuff and the server space and stuff that Amazon has. They have a huge server farms and stuff, man, all over the country, all over the world. And that's how they are able to monopolize and stuff on what's going on out there.
Hey, did you hear about Starbucks? Did you read the article about Starbucks? They're going to Italy.
They're going to where?
Italy.
Oh, well, they doing that because didn't Coke buy them? Didn't Coke buy some stock there with them, buy part of that company?
No. They're going to Starbucks is going to Italy. They're getting ready to open up a bunch of stores. Italy, man, is famous for what? Espresso,
yeah.
And they got a bunch of stores in Italy, like coffee houses that's what they drink.
Yeah, well,
so
if you walk,
that's going to be interesting. That's going to be.
I know. If you walk into Starbucks now, instead of saying small, medium, and large, they got all their codes and stuff for the small, medium, large, like venti, something else they call them. I forget these names that they call these sizes of coffee and everything. But if you look at the menu, you'll be able to tell because you got the small, medium, and large, but they got these Italian names and stuff up there for them.
So that's going to be that's going to be interesting because they got almost 27,000 cafes around the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of these American companies now, Ted, they are spanning overseas because that's the market and stuff now. Not only in the United States, overseas there's a market too. They've got a lot of companies, man, now who are trying to get into the country of India. They got a lot of people and stuff in India and stuff who can buy their products and stuff, not only China, but in India. And they're hoping that their government in India stays kind of stable so they can come in there and start marketing their products and stuff in there. And a lot of these Indian companies and stuff are moving outside of India.
That's the
United States.
Yeah, India right now is one of the biggest markets right now going. They're trying to break through that thing, but it's a lot of fighting going on in India, inside of India. A
lot of them, and they have these weird rules and stuff, about the cows and stuff. All the cows and stuff.
They got all these religious things on there and all that stuff, and that's a big issue. But you got a lot of people that are, has been westernized.
Potential customers.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Market share. They're trying to get that market share over there. That's how they did so well. Coca-Cola did so well over in India.
Mm-hmm. So don't forget, October 1st is not too far away, man. They got that budget thing going on there in Congress. They trying to.
I'm gonna be on top of that.
They trying to pass that budget and stuff, and they only got. We already into September now. They don't have about a couple more weeks, about 3 weeks and stuff before that budget deadline comes up. They don't pass that budget and everything, but they're going to be shutting down the government.
Yeah, we're going to see if 45 going to stick to his guns, talking about if he don't get his way, he's going to shut the government.
Border wall. He wants that border wall, man. And the Democrats, they can't pass that budget unless they can get some Democratic votes. So, and the Democrats said they ain't giving him no money for no daggone border wall. So it's gonna be a fight, man. So you have to get ready. You have to build up for it. It's sitting there.
We're gonna see if he's supposed to be as tough as he say he is.
I don't know, man.
You shut that government down, boy. It's gonna be a whole lot of people mad.
All right, man. We at our bewitching hour, Mr. Harvey.
Yeah, man. I apologize there, man. I was sort of kind of like had a daydream for a second. I should have got me a cup of coffee.
No, you don't need that coffee, man. Yes, you should have took you a quick nap, about noon or something. You got you a quick nap because you got a program coming up. So anyway, today's Thursday and everything, but this is our Wednesday telecast, but we're doing it here on Thursday because I was out of town and on the highway and stuff yesterday about this time. Well, no, I was here at the house by this time. I made it in just about 7 o'clock yesterday evening, but I was wild and tired till I could not sit up here and do a telecast and stuff, man.
I believe that.
That highway will wear you out.
Yes, it does. One thing that we wanted to make an announcement about, that on the 19th of September of this month, we're going to have a special guest. I don't know if we're going to have a niece and her husband, Dean, right?
Right.
Dean Lillard. And so I'm really looking forward to that because she's doing something that touched my heart, as far as where we came from. She's doing a great documentary, and we're going to be really talking about that, and we're going to be talking about where we came from. She's going to give us her experience in doing that documentary, and I'm looking really forward to that, man. That's going to be great.
Yeah, but she's probably going to have some ideas about her media company and where she's at and where she started and where she's planning on going, and some ideas about what she has, happening and stuff out there and stuff as far as she's concerned, and just some deadlines and stuff that she probably wants to bring up, and as to when that documentary is going to be out, so people can be aware that it's going to be there and be on the lookout for it. So hopefully, you guys will be live and stuff for us. But if you can't, you can always get our recorded version and stuff on YouTube, and we also have a copy of the recorded version and stuff that's on TedNet TV channel on Facebook. So look for us to be out there, and our blog and stuff on the Money Connection, and it's there. And I kind of stood up here this past week because I was out of town and stuff, and then get my daily blogs and stuff out there. But it will start tomorrow. I will start putting them back out there again for people to start reading. There's some interesting articles that are coming up. So look on Facebook and stuff and see, can you get them? And if you can't, just come to the moneyconnection.com and look and see what we're doing, and leave comments and advice, or if you want to come on our show, let us know. So anyway, Mr. Harvey, we'll see you later, and we will see our audience later. We'll be back on the air here at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Hey baby, what you trying to do? Spent the night just trying to find you. You the hottest one under the sun, and I'm under your spell. We stuck just like glue. You ain't got the free crib, oh well. You and me can head to the hotel. Whatever we do, just don't tell. I don't need anybody all on my coattail. I feel your energy and I ain't trying to fight it. Your vibe is way too exciting. I know I'm who you want to ride with. Don't fake it, I know that you like it.
It's more than just emotions. I get more emotions. All you gotta do is focus, not what you used to, but you like it. But you like it. Ooh, yeah. I've been out here looking for